Guys, these are just some tips on how to be a raw vegan, mistakes to avoid, mistakes that I definitely made when I was starting out. What's going on, guys? It's Ted Carr here. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe so we can get on with the video. Now that you're subscribed, let's get into it. 7 mistakes that raw food noobs make. What are they? Mistake number 1 that raw food noobs make, people that want to be raw, they come into it, they start watching these raw fooders on YouTube, they get inspired, but they don't stop watching the cooked fooders. If you want to be raw, you've got to stop watching the cooked fooders. You've got to get that totally out of your mind. You've got to focus entirely on the fruit. You've got to focus entirely on raw fooders. You've got to stay super inspired if you want to succeed on raw vegan. We don't live in a raw vegan society. We live in a cooked world. Staying raw in a cooked world requires you to focus on the fruit. It requires you to focus exclusively on sweet, fresh, ripe, raw, juicy fruits and vegetables. Focus on raw food, focus on raw food, focus on raw food. Stay inspired, guys. The big mistake people make is they keep watching these cooked fooders and then they get inspired to eat X, Y, and Z cooked food. But if you want to be raw, you've got to watch raw food YouTubers only. Read books about raw food only. Listen to podcasts about raw fooders only. Just stay pumped up about raw food. Go to raw food festivals, go to fruitarian meetups, hang out with these people who just eat raw food. And that's gonna help you level up. That's gonna prevent you from getting sucked back into that cooked world. If you don't want to go back in the cooked world, this is a fantastic tip for you. So stay inspired, guys. Focus on the fruit. Watch a lot of raw vegan YouTube videos. Mistake number 2 that raw food noobs make is they don't stock up enough. They don't stock up on enough unripe fruit. They don't stock up on enough ripe fruit. They don't stock up on enough apocalyptic food or cupboard food that you can eat at any time, like dried food. They don't stock up on enough frozen food and fridge food. Your fridge, freezer, cupboards, ground, shelves should be covered in all types of fruit. You want dried fruit, you want fresh fruit, you want unripe fruit, you want ripe fruit, you want fruit in your freezer, you want fruit in your fridge, cold fruit, warm fruit, all sorts of fruit. You want a lot of fruit, guys. You want so much fruit that you've got to throw some away, that you've got to give some away, that you've got to freeze them, that you've got to juice some, you've got to put into smoothies. You want to have an abundance of fruit. If I could show you in fact I will show you, I'll show you a little video clip right here of my bedroom that I'm in right now. I got cucumbers, I got tomatoes, I got cucumbers, I got coconuts, I got dragon fruit, I got bananas, I got avocados, I got mangoes, I got papayas. What else do you guys want? I got dried bananas holding up this camera right now as a tripod. I've got so much fruit here, guys. And this is just basic. This is just another day in the life of a raw vegan, day in the life of a fruitarian. If I can do it, you can do it. All you gotta do is go to the market and make sure you buy unripe fruit and you buy ripe fruit. You've got to have a mix. Don't just buy ripe fruit, don't just buy unripe fruit. You've got to have a mix, because by the time you finish eating all the ripe fruit, the unripe fruit's gonna be ready. And by the time you're starting to eat that unripe fruit, you better have more unripe fruit in stock. It's much better to ripen up the food at your house than to go buy food for the day. It's so hard to be raw vegan when you don't have anything in stock. It's very hard to be raw vegan and you have to go to the market every single day to buy food. Unless you've got a sweet hookup at the market and this lady or this man there cuts up fruit for you and just go there every day and pick it up. That's cool. But for most people, it makes way more sense to buy fruit unripe and let it ripen up in your house. And it's just a big mistake that raw food noobs make, is they don't do that. They think they can just buy food for the day. You can't buy food for the day, guys. You've got to stock up in advance. Mistake number 3 that raw food noobs make is they don't eat enough calories. And the reason they don't eat enough calories, I think, is because they don't eat enough fat. You've got to eat more coconut meat, you've got to eat more avocados, you've got to eat more durian. Don't fear the fat. Have a lot of avocados. Have like 1, 2, 3 of these a day, guys. It doesn't matter if you're eating 3 or 4, too much fat, whatever. Too much fat is when you feel sick. Don't eat so you feel sick. Just eat enough fat so that you feel good, you feel solid, you feel ready, you feel full. There's a lot of people who fear the fat, who think too much about eating too much fat instead of feeling about it. So instead of thinking too much about it, feel about it, guys. Eat 2 or 3 avocados a day if you like. Eat 1 avocado a day if you like. If you don't want any fat, that's totally fine as well. But just if you get hungry, don't fear the fat. Go ahead, have a coconut meat, have some durian, have an avocado. It's really hard to get enough calories on raw when you're just starting out, because your stomach is so small from eating all this cooked food that it doesn't need to be super high volume. Your stomach doesn't need to expand. When you're just starting out on raw food, you need to practice expanding your stomach in order to fit in all the calories. I can sit down and I can eat like 4 or 5 dragon fruit and I'll be pretty full after that. 4 or 5 dragon fruit fit in my belly gets pushed out, gets expanded, it makes me look like Buddha. But other people sit down, they have maybe 1 or 2 dragon fruits and they're full, they're physically full. But you don't get enough calories on 1 or 2 dragon fruits. Then sure enough, 2 or 3 hours later you get really hungry, then you might start craving cooked food again. But if you can fill up on 4 or 5 dragon fruits like I can, then you're not going to be as full because you're going to have all the calories. But because your raw food noobs, they just can't get in enough, they can't physically fit in all those calories, all that volume, they've got to have more fat. You've got to have more avocados, you've got to have more coconut meat. You can have dried fruit if you want, you can have a lot of dates and dried bananas and things like that, and dried apricots and dried raisins, but that brings me on to the next mistake raw food noobs make, and that's mistake number 4, and that is too much dried food. Dried food replicates cooked food. It's just extremely dense. So it replicates it in that it's very dense. I would say it replicates it in that it's addictive or anything. It just replicates it because it's very dense. But if you're eating a bunch of dried food, and you're saying, oh, I'm filling up on dried food because it's easier to get in the calories that way, you've got to watch out for your teeth, man. I would encourage you to soak your dried food first and maybe blend it into a smoothie and then drink it like that. I encourage you to rehydrate your dried food, but then alas, it's not dry after all, it's rehydrated. But I would only have dried fruit in times of emergency. That brings me on to the next mistake raw food noobs make. I think that's mistake number 5 now. And that is, raw food noobs, they think, oh, I'm eating the totally natural diet, I don't need to look after my teeth because animals in nature don't brush their teeth. Well, it's true animals in nature don't really brush their teeth, it's true animals in nature even have really shitty teeth, but if you want to have shitty teeth, don't brush your teeth, don't floss. But if you want to have fine teeth, you want to have great teeth, you've got to floss, you've got to brush your teeth. It's a mistake a lot of raw food noobs make. They don't take care of their dental hygiene. They go to the dentist, like, oh my god, I have all these cavities, I'm going to blame the fruit. Why would you blame the fruit when 99% of the people in the world who get cavities don't even eat that much fruit? There's kids these days growing up in Thailand here, I'm seeing them eat candy all the time and eat just like absolute crap, and their teeth are horrible. They don't eat much fruit at all. And all the people going to the dentist these days, they're not raw vegans, they're not fruitarians. But it does happen that when someone goes raw vegan, they go fruitarian, and they finally go to the dentist after 18 months of never going to the dentist, never brushing their teeth, thinking they're all natural. They have a bunch of cavities. But you've got to floss, you've got to brush your teeth on a raw vegan fruitarian diet, just like you would on any diet. Don't think just because you eat this way you're absolutely invincible and you're not going to get any cavities or anything. That's a big mistake raw food noobs make. I don't want you to make the same mistake. So brush your teeth, floss, and rinse your mouth out after every single meal. Rinse your mouth out after every single meal. Huge. What's another mistake these raw food noobs make? I got a list right here. Oh, here's one. They eat hard to digest foods. You gotta eat foods that rub into your skin. I've said this before and I'll say it 10,000 times until it gets rubbed into your brain here. You've gotta eat foods that rub into your skin. If you're eating foods that don't rub into your skin, you're gonna have gas, you're gonna have indigestion, you're gonna have maybe some bloating, you're gonna have painful stools, you're gonna have maybe some body odor, you're gonna have some acne. But as soon as you start eating foods like baby foods that just rub right into your skin, you're going to eliminate all those things. Your digestion's going to be smooth. Your gas is going to be scentless. Your body odor won't even be there. Your hairs aren't going to be that greasy, if greasy at all. It just makes sense to eat foods that you feed a baby, because you essentially are a baby, just a grown-up version of a baby. Your digestive system isn't like 10,000 times stronger now that you're an adult. If anything, your digestive system is like all worn and tearing, and you gotta be gentle with yourself, man. Be as gentle with your digestive tract as you would be with the baby. What do we feed babies? Avocados, bananas, papayas, coconut water, orange juice. All these things, they rub right into the skin. Mangoes, they rub right into the skin. Apricots, peaches, plums, nectarines, these things, they just rub right in. If you're gonna have vegetables, if you're gonna eat vegetables at all, if you're saying, Ted, I can't be fruitarian, I need to eat my vegetables, go ahead, have your vegetables. But I would encourage you to juice the hard stuff. Juice your carrots, juice your broccoli, juice your cauliflower, juice your kale. And if you're gonna have a nice salad, have some iceberg lettuce, have some baby spinach, have some really soft romaine lettuce, and then mash in some avocado in there, mash in some tomatoes, things like that. Mash it in. Make some nice baby food for yourself, right? What else we got on this list? Is that all of them? Is that all the 7 mistakes? So we got the stay inspired one, the stocking up, not eating enough fat. Oh, another mistake, I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. Yeah. Last mistake, the 7th mistake raw food noobs make. They're not patient. They're just rushing into this and they want the results overnight. you've got to give yourself time to experience the results. And sure, you're going to feel better after the first meal of raw. If you eat a meal of cooked food and you're going to feel, ugh, you eat a meal of raw food, you're going to feel like, yeah, you're going to feel fantastic, sure. But if you want the major result, the lifestyle changing results, you've got to give it time. Give yourself 30 days, give yourself 2 months, give yourself a year to really see the benefits. Give yourself time to transition as well. Don't just think, I'm just going to eliminate all cooked food all at once. I'm never going to have addiction or craving ever again. It takes time to unwind, man. It takes time to unravel these layers that you've wrapped around yourself over the 20 years that you've been eating cooked food. So allow yourself to detox, man. Allow yourself to eat whatever cooked food you want. But then when the time comes for it, just say, all right, be honest with yourself and say, all right, this is the last time I'm going to have this particular cooked food. You say, all right, I'm not going to eat yams anymore. This is the last meal of yams, but maybe next week I'll still allow myself to have some brown rice. And after that next week you say, okay, no more brown rice, but after that I'll allow myself to have some quinoa or something. And you just go through the list one at a time and be totally fair with yourself and say, hey man, like, I've been eating cooked food for 20 years. I'm not all of a sudden gonna boom, not eat any more cooked food ever again. That's a major stress on your body, man. Every cell in your body is made up of cooked food. Your body's made up of the food you've been eating. And if all of a sudden you stop eating all that food, your body starts going into stress mode and thinks, where the hell is all those calories coming from? Where is that food that we grew up with? Where's the food that we've been subsisting off? Where's the food that has made me who I am? Your body's like, dude, we need more of that food. And it starts to crave that. Knows, fruit's healthy, but it's like, dude, the fruit hasn't been keeping us alive for 20 years. It's been all the cooked food. So where is that cooked food? So it's a major shift for your body to go through when you all of a sudden stop cutting out cooked food. Because your body's made up of all this cooked food. So give yourself time to transition. Give yourself time to adapt to the raw food. And don't expect overnight results, but sure, expect to feel better emotionally after the first day or so, after the first meal or so, for sure. But anyways, guys, these are just some tips on how to be a raw vegan, mistakes to avoid, mistakes that I definitely made when I was starting out. But I've been doing this now for 7.5 years, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Seriously, if you've watched this far into the video, do everyone in the world a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2017. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.